Because I was just thinking about old game manuals. This is a Master System game. Um, I have a couple Master System games. I didn't buy the games myself. Someone else bought them, but they found it and they knew I kind of. But they were better than Nintendo because they literally had. They had plastic covers when Nintendo had. You know, covers made of trees, so they weren't as. They were less durable. So, but I was just thinking, like these manuals, you probably. Well, I mean, realistically, they're well enough protected in the cover, but maybe you actually need. I guess they are, but they're artifacts now. I think you literally, if you need a manual for a game, you can go to something called like. I think it's called the Cover Project. I don't know, and you can find all manuals. Uh, Truth be told, like so this is like the third generation. Um, so I grew up playing the sixth generation, like the PS2 and before, like the N64 and PS1. Um, so those, but like I never really read manuals to be honest with you, but they included manuals for. So this is the 80s, right? So they included manuals. It was more. It made more sense to read manuals back then, maybe. But this game is kind of hard though. This game right here is kind of hard. Um, they still make Master System to this day, like in Brazil, I think they still make it. But I was actually thinking of protecting this manual with extra care. But people probably like you can literally print out manuals. I think if you want to. So yeah, I think Sega was more popular than Nintendo in Europe because maybe Sega was cheaper or something. I think, and of course, when it comes to arcades, Sega Rally 2, I used to play a lot. We had a place when they had, and the same place now has another Sega game too, a Daytona games. Sega is, but this is a manual right here. Maybe it actually gives you tips though, like in the manual. Um, it might actually. I'm not sure, but this game is kind of hard though. This game right here is kind of hard. So manuals stopped being a thing when Xbox 360 and PS3. Um, I don't know if there is tips in the manual, but it's literally so. I wonder if there is. So there might actually be. Though. Hmm. I wonder if there is. It says though. It kind of does though. Hmm. Yeah, like it literally. It kind of does. Like sort of maybe. It says like. Yeah. It kind of does. Like see. It sort of does. So this game is kind of hard though. Like this 2D game, like games now. Like if you just play this game, like because you have to really have good reactions to play this game. So compared to modern games, it's not like Dark Souls is kind of hard, but this game is kind of hard. Um, the graphics look better on Master System than NES too. I've literally noticed. So, um, Sega like they could have PS2 just destroyed Sega because PS2. Who knows? They didn't because Sega still made. They just stopped producing consoles, but they still make. They still continue to make arcade games and games for consoles that just stopped making their own console. Um, which some people once thought, oh, Sega could still make a new console, but um, it's not like it. Um, like they probably still could though, but then you have so many people in the industry. I think it's like so you have Nintendo, you have Sony, you have Microsoft, you have Steam now with the Steam Deck. So that's four and five, six. Um, yeah, it's like six different um, you know, companies or whatever. But yeah, they don't really have manuals for games now. Um, but like I didn't really read. I didn't really read I think in the past manuals were more necessary because modern games now it's like they're kind of easy to beat. It's the games used to be like getting games don't have game over screens either. So like game over screens, this like game over screens is like you have to start at the beginning again. But modern games, it's like yeah, they don't have game over screens. Well, they still do, but it's not. Um, it's not it's as hard as it used to be. But like this, yeah, it's um, it kind of does tell you things though. Well, it may be not. I'm not sure, but ooh, it kind of sort of does maybe. So um, Nintendo still uses like kids don't know what that is, but it's literally they probably don't even know what a CD is because they have so. But these consoles last longer than CD based consoles because CD based consoles is well maybe modern CD based consoles with Blu-ray last um longer. So, but like back then, I think it used to be like you reading manuals was way more necessary because games were they gave you way less hints on what to do. So